So, Mr. Kruk,
Mm-hmm.
thank you for allowing me to come into your class today. Our action step from last time, we were looking at the questioning and trying to identify misconceptions earlier, provide students with more points where they might be possible points of confusion, but also just looking at the quality of the questions and getting more responses from the students.
Right.
So how did you feel like this observation went?
I think that in the observation, it's kind of difficult with the speed that I have to go in the AP psychology.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like I got to go like with a lot more lower level questioning, and especially when presenting new material.
Mm-hmm.
Doing that is where you kind of got to stay because the kids are so unfamiliar with it that sometimes the struggle finding the right size, the right level question.
Okay.
I felt that in one point when I was doing the observation that I had some questions on the board,
Mm-hmm.
and it was either the way that I had written it wasn't clear, or the kids didn't have enough knowledge base to really answer the questions well.
Okay. Did you feel like there was a difference in the quality of the responses to the questions that you thought that you seemed to just think of and ask as compared to the ones that you had prepared?
I think that, well, see, I think in the ones that were that I did on the fly, yeah, there was definitely a difference in that they were very base level
Mm-hmm.
one questions with defined responses. I felt like some of the questions I wrote were they created like a one word response in some
Mm-hmm.
cases, which had I done that over, I would have added a why to the end of the question, or explain your answer
Mm-hmm.
to some extent. Like when we were talking about hypnosis
Yeah.
and whatnot, the first two were basic yes
Yes,
or no
no.
questions, and the last two you can kind of get into more.
Mm-hmm.
Had
Yeah,
I
because those questions, I had them, they were, actually I didn't get those.
Yeah, because it was like the first one was, do you believe everybody can be hypnotized? And
Yes.
yes. And then the next one, I forgot what it was, but it was yes or no. But
Can it be beneficial? There was...
right, therapeutic. And the one, can it be therapeutic, I think was something that they can talk about more. But I think the way I phrased the questions could have benefited if I would have added a why or a how or something like that at the
Mm-hmm.
end.
Because I think psychology lends itself a little bit better to some of those opinion questions. Like
Mhm.
that first question about hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think people can be hypnotized, or do you think that it's just fake?
Right.
I think that when you asked that, they were thinking about it. There was a lot of conversation just amongst themselves,
Yeah.
but there wasn't like as much to you, like the responding to you.
Right.
So what were some things that you felt like you could do differently to maybe either get more responses or more in-depth responses, or take those questions to the next level?
I think one of the things is that the students are really good at talking
Mm-hmm.
to one another for the most part. I wonder how good they are at listening to one another.
Okay. So what would it look like to you? What would be evidence for you that they are listening to each other's responses?
So I think, and I've done this before, but I've kind of lost sight of it, is that, I ask when I after I give them wait time,
Mm-hmm.
is one of the things I'll do is I'll say, I'm either going to ask you what you said or what somebody at your table
Mm-hmm.
said. And clear it with the person at the table, make sure that it's okay that you say
Mm-hmm.
what if it's an opinion question or whatever. But to kind of make sure that they're listening to each other. Because I know that talking is a big deal, but really our kids a lot of times lose sight of that listening end of it. And I think
Mm-hmm.
it's something that they would benefit from. And then not only that, people are going to feel like what I say is of value, and there's like all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of different things that are good about kind of that step.
Okay. So if we were to make an action step that said you were going to try to create more opportunities for students to listen, to provide evidence that they're listening to each other's responses, how would that look? So if we're practicing, what would be, so if I'm asking, do you believe that people, or why do you believe that people can or cannot be hypnotized?
So then I would, if I was the teacher, if that was the question, I were the teacher, I would say to the students, okay, ask the question, of course, and then say, we're going to come back together as a class and discuss. When we do, I'll either ask for your opinion or that of someone at your table's opinion.
Okay. And so then their response, if they gave you a good response that you felt like we'll just make one up, that somebody responds and you would say, yes, that person clearly listened to the other person.
Right. Or just say, give them a little wait time and then just say, okay, so-and-so, what did somebody at your table, say?
Okay. So just to take that even another step further, because we have the talk moves from a while ago, remember we had the cards? So some strategies that we might be able to do would be like, tell me something that you agreed with at your table, or tell me even something that you disagreed with at your table. So just varying it up so that you can see. Like, then they have to really think about it. They listen to everybody's and they have to compare it to their own point and then present.
Yeah, I need to get that chart. Don't we have charts?
Yeah, I have them. I'll have it. I can get you the cards. So the talk moves.
Yeah.
And then we can make posters and put them up. And even then, like some of the elementaries have the little cards taped to the desk and you have to respond using that. I think that it would be effective. They're in the conference room. But because we're having a meeting and we'll start back up, we'll be here like in 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Where's the conference?
It's the last room to the left. Yeah, edit that out. So then the next time that I come in, I'll try to come back to that AP psychology.
Okay.
And we'll be looking for some of those talk moves type activities. And before that, so let's get that on the clock, on the calendar. When would be a good time to come in?
The classes all run pretty much as you saw. I would guess that we're probably going to test on maybe Tuesday or Thursday of next week.
Okay.
I would guess we're going to test on Thursday of next week.
Perfect.
So Tuesday. Okay. So Tuesday would probably be a good day.
So then Tuesday, October 27th. During first period, and we're looking for the talk moves, evidence of people listening to other responses in the class. Okay. And then also, because from what you said, I think you want it to be somewhat quick. It's not too time consuming.
Right. I think that it'll hopefully we'll put in a process to where that's going to be
the expectation.
The expectation.
And that's something they can do a lot quicker.
Right.
Okay. All right. So then we'll come back October 27th during first period. Anytime?
Anytime. Yeah.
Anytime. Looking for those talk moves. All right.
All right.
Thank you, sir.